Yo, guys, what is up? What is up? Dar is back in our new show. This is going to, our name of our new show here is going to be Game Chat. Now, just go ahead and clarify, that is not a rip off a trade chat, because this is going to cover a variety of different games. And this is just going to be basically, it's going to start out with basically me talking about games I'm playing, things that are coming to games, things I like, so forth and so on. And maybe eventually, maybe it'll move into maybe like a Q&A show, after the audience kind of, starts building up a little bit. Maybe we'll have some guests on, from maybe some of your other YouTubers might come on the show from time to time. We'll just have to see how it goes. So, for our first episode, we're going to be talking about World of Warcraft Mist of Pandaria. So, as a lot of you know, I got, that 10-day free trial to try Mist of Pandaria. And I left Warcraft about 6 to 8 months ago, roughly. I left very shortly after Firelands come out. I think I ran Firelands once, maybe twice, and then, I just left World of Warcraft. I was just getting bored of it. I'd been in game, I don't know how many years, 5, 6, 7, I don't know. I know I started the game after Vanilla had been out for about a month, and then that's when I started World of Warcraft. So it's been quite some time. So I was just getting bored of it. And I'd gotten, like I said, previously in some of my other DAR vlogs, which are being discontinued and pretty much going to be replaced with Game Chat here. I'd gotten 7-day trials back. I'd logged in, 7-day free trial, log in, and just, nope, still bored as shit of this game. Can't take it, can't do it, nope. And I got this 10-day trial for Mist of Pandaria. They have changed so much in the game, and I'm really, really, really liking it. So I decided that my time was going to run out yesterday, so I decided, I'm going to buy Mist of Pandaria, and I'm going to resubscribe to the game, because I'm just hooked on it again. I'm still going to put my foot down and say I am not going to get into any hardcore raiding. But, I really have to stick to that. And it's going to take effort to stick to that, because I'm kind of getting hooked on it again. And, World of Warcraft is just addicting. Oh, shit. Alright, so I made a boo-boo. I ended up, kind of being a cheap ass and, tried to buy Mist of Pandaria a little bit cheaper. So we're going to call this part story time. And I am going to try to keep this episode, within 45 minutes. If it runs much longer than that, I'll just hold the rest of the agenda till next episode. But, so, I found I Googled, typed in Google, Mist of Pandaria CD keys. And I found a site, looked like it was from North America, and they accepted PayPal. So I figured, this will work. PayPal's very secure, so everything ought to work there. So I ordered Mist of Pandaria CD key, and it says, you should receive your key within 10-15 minutes via email. And I figured, okay, that's great. So I went ahead, placed the order, and I got an email saying, we will process your order as soon as you send us a copy of your driver's license or passport to confirm your identity. That's never, ever going to happen. That's never, ever a good idea. The only people I allow to have a copy of my ID is my employer. That's just common sense. You don't want, people being able to steal your identity with all the information that is on an ID, like a driver's license. So, I straight up told him, that wasn't going to happen. And then on top of all that, I was buying something for World of Warcraft, which is heavily targeted for fraud. So, wasn't going to happen. No way, shape, or form. So yeah, I went ahead and sent them an email back and let them know that never mind. I looked up my card charges on my my card there, and it said that I had been charged, and I think it was $30. Yeah, it was $30. It was $10 cheaper than Blizzard's deal. So I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm sending you that information. I've used PayPal. PayPal's a very secure site. They do all the checks, and making sure I am who I say I am. So, if, apparently that's not going to be good enough for you. Just, go ahead and cancel my order. And they sent me another email saying, yeah, we just confirm your identity by sending us a copy of your driver's license or passport, and we'll process it. And I noticed at the top of the email it says translated from Chinese. Oh, now I'm pissed. Yeah, now I know there's no way in hell that I'm, no. And it probably falls back. It probably has a lot to do with, I don't know I don't know if it's racism or what it is, but the Chinese gold farmer, stigma. That's what it is. It's stigma. That's not racist. It's stigma. So, yeah, with that, no fucking way in hell. Especially since I thought I was dealing with a North American company. So, no. And so, I ended up calling, or they ended up calling me. And, I don't know if it's a language barrier or what was going on there. But I said several times, I just refund the money. Just don't process the order. Just, refund the money. And every time I would say that, oh, okay, I send you the code in the mail. No, don't send me the code. No, don't. So, what the fuck is going on? Do not send me the fucking code. I am not paying for it. I went ahead and I bought a real product without a runaround in 2 minutes flat from Blizzard. They didn't, I didn't have no fucking problems. Don't send me shit. So, anyway, now they're sending me emails every day. I've gotten 2 so far, because it's only been 2 days. So, every day so far, I'm getting an email about, okay, well, we won't need that. Now we need phone verification. Yes, they want phone verification. Not fucking happening. Not happening. So, with that, I contacted my card holder, and I've contacted, PayPal, and, it's going to take some time, but they're not going to get the money, and if they do get the money, they're not going to keep the money, so it may take some time, but it's taken care of. So, lesson learned, never, ever, 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 ever buy anything, especially for Warcraft, unless it's from Blizzard. Don't try going, unless now if it's eBay or, something like that, like I do a lot of Amazon.com, shit like that, I've never had any issues with companies, through there. But, yeah, if it's not through something like that, not gonna happen. I thought just using, okay, well, if they use PayPal, so it's gonna be okay, would, no, that didn't work. So I gotta kind of up it. So that's just kind of an interesting story. I thought was, not humorous, but y'all might like it. So yeah, let's never do that. Okay, so since I've been playing, I've been back at Warcraft, and so far I have decided on a main character. And if you'll probably notice, the video going on behind us is just, some me running through, doing some quests and leveling and stuff, just so there's something on screen, while I talk to y'all. But I've decided He-Man is going to be coming back as my main character. I played Dar was my main character up through, Vanilla and Burning Crusade, and for what was that, Wrath of the Lich King, I moved over and used He-Man and did all my main tanking. That's probably when I tanked a little bit before, all prior to that, but never really got into it. And by the time Lich King came out, move my mic a little bit. By the time Lich King came out, I was just so burned on DPS. And I'm still, to this day, I'm just still so sick of frickin' DPS. And they've changed a lot. they have changed a lot about, you know, the DPS classes. And gave him some cool abilities. I mean, there's a lot of cool shit. But yeah, I'm still just burned out on it. Can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. So, sticking with my main going to be tanking. And I also enjoy healing. So, you know, I'm going to be leveling my healers and tanks first. And, you know, then I'll get to DPS. Maybe I'll sneak Dar in there sometime just for some of those new pets. Because I love pets. Pets are cool. So, yeah. And then, so I'm playing with He-Man. You know, he's going to be my new main. Or back to being my main. And, he is... Well, right now he's halfway through 85, Prot Warrior, and he is a frackin' beast. I mean, with the way they've changed shit up and just increased the DPS on tanks, which I have kind of mixed feelings on, but during the leveling process and things like that, it helps out a ton. Oh my god, it is just awesome because you're able to kill shit quickly. So you're able to combine what we used to be able to do, like if you know anybody's ever watched Hobbs videos, he used to round up a bunch of mobs all at one time and then AoE them all down. That way, you know, because we kill so slowly, you know, as tanks, we do little damage. So gathering a shit ton of them up, trying to equalize it out, you know, so we're killing as much or as fast as say a DPS would, you know, when they're taking one at a time. Well, now we're able to take huge mobs like that, and since they've cranked up our DPS, it's ridiculous how much DPS we're doing. I mean, how fast these mobs are just dropping. I'm able to gather up, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 mobs all at once, and just AoE them all down at, you know, at one time. It's freaking awesome. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Now, I will say I do disagree with, you know, and I'm sure it's going to be fixed, but, you know, I've heard from a lot of people that in a lot of cases, tanks are out DPSing the, you know, the DPS. And, yeah, don't think that's a good thing. At all. I mean, that definitely needs to be fixed. You know, our job is to tank. It's not to do DPS. We're not supposed to be out DPSing the DPS. It's just, you know, I mean, it's good to be pumping out DPS because the faster you kill shit, the less damage it does to you. So, you know, I mean, that makes sense, right? But it just feels wrong. That's all there is to it. But yeah, Prot Warrior tanking is back and full-fledged. Love it, and going to stick with it. You know, and of course, you know, my Death Knight and Pally and everybody else can be coming up and I'm working on some Horde tunes. I'm probably gonna level He-Man, and then when I get a little bit bored of him or want to change up, I'll switch over to a Horde tune. Just because I have no high level Horde tunes, never have, I'd like to kind of get one. You know, Death Knights don't count because they start out at 60. Well, 58 when you get out of the starting area, but still. So far, monks are freaking awesome. They're a lot of fun to tank with. I mean, they are. And they got that, I can't think of the name of it now because I'm just talking, not actually watching shit. But they are almost impossible to pull aggro off of. And if you do pull aggro off of them, I mean, they get it back instantly. It's really easy tank. I mean, it's super duper easy tanking. From what of course, you know, I'm not very high level yet on mine. I'm still low level on my tank, or on my monk. But from what I've seen so far, yeah, just probably the easiest tank I've ever played. Probably easier than a paladin. That might change at the high levels. I'm not sure, but so far, just incredibly super easy. Alright, hang on one second. Alright, I was getting some feedback through my speakers for some reason or another. Probably picked it up in the microphone. So, one of my other healers, moving on to my healing, one of my favorite healers was always my priest. I mean, priests were always great healers. And I always did, you know, discipline because it was fun, and I always had a lot of trouble keeping mana using holy. And yeah, apparently my discipline spec ain't gonna be worth a damn for a little while. Hopefully they get that fixed, but apparently there's a huge problem with discipline priest. So I am gonna be going back to holy. I have tanked. I have healed a couple times with her, just here and there since I've been back, and I've been sticking with discipline, and with the exception of like boss fights where there's a lot of AoE damage, and I switch over to holy because they got some really good AoE heals. I mean, really good ones. So I've just been kind of sticking with that. But hopefully they get discipline fixed, because I really liked, penance was one of my favorite spells. I mean, tank almost dead, throw a penance on him, and boom, 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 he's right back up there. It's awesome. And he's getting healed the duration of that heal, rather than throwing like a greater heal on him, where he's not getting anything until that heal is finished. So that's probably why I love penance so much. It's just phenomenal. Alright, but hopefully they get that fixed. That's really the only one I've tried healing with so far. I haven't jumped on any of my other healers as of yet, to actually play anything on them yet. But yeah, I hope they get that fixed. Guys, remember, leave your comments in the section below. I do want to turn this into, kind of a Q&A later on down the road. Maybe I'll throw some questions in on it, in the later episodes, as they start coming in. But there's going to be a link email address in the description below. It's going to be wowdargamechat at gmail.com. You can send all your questions to and stuff, and we'll answer them here on the show. Maybe they'll be on the show with just me. Maybe, they'll be on a show with me and another YouTuber. Who knows? And they don't, it's any game that, at least you've seen me cover on the channel. Already popular games, if it's about something I know nothing about, and my guest knows nothing about, it won't be answered. But, we'll do our best, and see how it goes. So, I haven't played in a while, and I'm back. And I was on my troll tune the other day. It was funny as hell. And just look, she was like level 5 or 6. I was in Orgrimmar dropping some shit in the bank. And somebody whispered me. This was just a funny story. It just kind of pops in there. But, yeah, I get a whisper. It says, yeah, hey, you're hot. Hey, you're hot. Really? Really? So I send a message back. I'm like, seriously? Hi, I'm hot. Seriously? And it takes a couple minutes. I figure, okay, well, I ain't got to deal with that child anymore. And here comes, oh yeah, you're really super hot. I'm a fucking guy. And this is a troll. First of all, I gotta ask, how is a troll hot? Really, seriously, how is a troll ever hot? It's a fucking troll. I mean, it's not a human. It's not an elf. It's not even a Draenei. Shakes that ass, when they walk. The females. It's a fucking troll. Seriously? Oh my god, some fucking people. That's all I got to say on that, is some fucking people. But so far I'm having a lot of fun. I do like it. Now, I have noticed, a lot of this new phasing in game. Now, this was not here when I was playing. This is brand new to me. This whole world phasing deal. When you leave your main city and you're out in the world, and there's just people from all different servers right there with you. And I've noticed some pros and cons to this so far. I just kind of want to go through it. Let me know, if y'all disagree, if y'all have some other thoughts on it, let me know. You can send them to the email, you can put them in a link or in a comment below. But, this show's going to rely heavily on feedback from you guys, in one way or another. So that's why I ask. So, yeah, I'm out in the world, and I'm going to go ahead and go with the bad thing first. The bad thing is, aside of the Mist of Pandaria starting area, for the pandas. Aside from that, like when you have to kill a single mob, like Jimmy the Butcher, you gotta go kill Jimmy the Butcher, and if somebody else has already got him tapped, then you gotta wait for, the respawn, which is the way it always used to be. Except now, with phasing, there's always other people out there questing. So now you're in this huge competition again for, completing your quest. Which, to me, is a huge pain in the ass. I mean, when I was, if I go out leveling and all, before Mist, I'm out there, say, in Northridge by myself. 99% of the time I'm by myself. Every once in a while you'll see another character, come running through the area or something like that. But it was very rare. And, you're pretty much in the zone, or at least in an area, by yourself. And you have all the mobs are there for you to kill. No competition. You can blast through your quest fairly quickly. And, get leveled up and start your dungeon runs. You can't do that anymore. With this whole phasing thing they got going on, throwing everybody, into one or two servers, however many they're using there, and getting all these people from these other servers, it really slows it down quite a bit. Because now you're waiting for respawns, and you're trying to find new hunting grounds, and so forth and so on. It's nice seeing, other people around. And I know that's why they did it. So you get that feel of this is an MMO. Where you didn't really get that when you're getting into a zone and you're like, the only one there. Every once in a blue moon you might see somebody. I get that. But it slows it really slows you down. It's really a hindrance, I think. And I just do not like that. Now, however, with that being said, I remember when they were talking about it, everybody was all like, well, what's that going to happen to, people trying to trying to do mining, or gather herbs, or go out skinning, or whatever. That was like a big concern for everybody. Well, for skinning, first of all, that helps skinners. That helps skinners a lot, because there's a lot more people out there killing shit. All you gotta do is run behind them and skin everything. You're set. Otherwise, if everybody's not looting or whatever, then yeah, it could be a problem for skinners, because it's going to be harder for you to find groups of, say, wolves or bears and round them all up, kill them, and then skin them. But with the herbs and the mines, they have obviously found a way to fix it. I don't know if it's just the spawn rates are incredible on them now, or like if you're in an area and you hit enough of them, it phases you into another area and they just all pop right back up again, or what. But I am able to mine, harvest, do whatever, getting these resources in like record time now. Way faster than I was ever able to do previously to this whole phasing technology. So, yeah, that's the good part of it. That's the good part of it. And I will say it's a very good thing, because, if you're like me, you have a lot of tunes. I have every profession. So, gathering has always been very, very time consuming. And especially like mining, where you're flying around a zone over and over and over and over. I mean, you gotta make several trips all the way around it to get it, enough to get, your mining level to the next level so you can go to a new zone or something like that. It is incredibly faster now. I am just really liking that. But, I guess you gotta take the good with the bad, right? Yeah, that's just the way it is. And, speaking of leveling, I've kind of talked to a lot of people since I've been back. And, I kind of got into a discussion with somebody the other day, about how they were leveling. And, they were saying, with the way everything is now, they're able just to jump from zone to zone to zone to zone and level really quickly just by doing all these quests and knocking them out. and they were asking me, what I thought, might be, another good zone for them to go to. Like, if they're in Elwyn, where else could they go if, like, Elwyn gets overrun? Which Elwyn's always overrun. Everybody goes to Stormwind area for questing, just like everybody goes to, the area right outside of Orgrimmar for questing. I guess it's just because it's familiar. But yeah, so, they were asking me, what other areas, and I, basically just told them, how I do it is I just, follow the chain until I get to level 15. And then once I get to level 15, I do not do any more quests. I just don't do it. What I do is I get to level 15, and if I'm on a tank or a healer, usually get really quick queues to get into randoms. So I just do random dungeons, period, non-stop. And usually what I'll do is I try to wait till I got, like a full level of rested XP. And then I'll go into a dungeon, and 9 times out of 10, you get a level every time you run a dungeon. You ding every time, pretty much. So, except for the higher levels, once you start getting into, around the 80s and stuff, it slows down to maybe half a level every dungeon. It just depends, but the rested really helps a ton with that. So that's the way I do it. And I level rather quickly like that. I get good gear doing like that. And if I'm having like an off day where, it's not taking it's taking too long, or if I'm on a DPS, I go out and I farm things, like herbs and mining, or play the auction house, or do stuff like that while I'm waiting on queues to pop. So I'm always making money and maximizing my time. And for me, that really seems to pan out a lot better than running off questing all the damn time. At least until I get to, now it's going to be until I get to 85 where I'll start questing and stuff. So you get, your rep and stuff for the Mist of Pandaria people. Which is probably going to be another huge fucking grind. I'll get to 90. Is it 90 now? Yeah. I'll get to 90 now, and, it'll be dailies galore. Woo, freaking who. I am so excited about that, let me tell you. So, let's see, moving right along here. I kind of got my list of things I wanted to cover in this video. Got 2 more things we wanted to talk about. The first thing of the 2 is real quick and simple. I'd heard about it, but I heard they were talking about doing this. And I didn't ever hear if they actually went forward and did it. So I checked it like 10 minutes ago before I started this recording. And they have now made it so that all the old world raids no longer require a raid group to go do them. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm going to be doing that. While I'm getting rested XP on all my characters for the next couple days, I'm going to be running Molten Core, BWL, and anything else I could damn well think of. Probably maybe some Kara. I don't know, guys. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm asking. That's one thing I'm asking. If you do nothing else, comment below of some really class, and I want the class and the set, and where I should go get it for, like, tier sets and shit I should go collect. Because I am all about transmogrification. Oh, I fucking love transmogrification. It's awesome. I got 3 sets for He-Man right now. I got the original tier 0 set. I got the tier 1 set from Molten Core. The, what do they call it? The Wrath set or something like that. The Might. Yeah, it's the Might set. Yeah, like somebody just told me. That would have been nice. The Might set, and I have the, I can't remember the name of the set, but the set from, Lich King. Whatever, Ice Crown, yeah, and I have that set. But, yeah, because there's a lot of stuff I don't remember what they were, and, or where to get them. I remember Molten Core, because I was in there, like, every single week for, a year and a half. Loved that place. God, I miss 40-mans. I just thought it was so fun. The concept of we have one monster and it takes 40 players. 40 players to take down this one monster. And if somebody fucks up, this one monster instantly can kill 40 people. That's just cool. That whole idea of that was just awesome to me. Of course, I killed 40, man, and I still rated after that, of course. But yeah, it was never quite as awesome or as glorious as a 40-man was. I mean, because you lost that. But yeah, I am real excited about that. I know I will be doing a lot of Molten Core runs at the bare minimum, because there was a lot of good gear in there, or a lot of good looking gear in there. I think I might get the Blackwing Lair set. I can't remember the name of the set, but for the warrior, it has like the big old blade on the helmet and the big old blade on the shoulders. Oh shit, I can't get that, can I? Because the helmet came from Onyxia, the original Onyxia, and I don't think she's there anymore. I don't think she's there. Oh man, that would suck. Something awful. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But anyway, okay, so one last thing I wanted to talk about. And, yeah, I've gotten this a lot over the years, because I started out on YouTube with World of Warcraft. So I've gotten this a lot over the years, and I want to talk slightly about it. It's called clicking. I mean, if you're listening to this, either you or somebody you know is a clicker. And, clickers, and I clicked for a long time. I'll freely admit that. I was a bad clicker. I clicked for tanking, for every healer tanks, or clicks, but, for DPS, I click. And, yeah, I just couldn't get the hang. Okay, you got this keyboard, and it's just full of fracking keys. It is. It's just full of keys. And I might actually do a video on how I set this up. But it's just full of keys, and it's hard for me to remember what key does what. Especially if I have, Sunder and Thunderclap and Cleave and Revenge and Shield Block and Shield Slam and Trinket and Heal and this and that on all these different keys. I just can't do it. I cannot remember. And right now, if I was to try to go back and do it, I can't do it. Now, there was the first thing I tried, and it was working. It was working good for key binding, but it messed me up as far as my movement and stuff goes. I was kind of using my WASD for moving, and I started key binding some stuff to my numpad over here on the right. And, in a fight where I don't have to move, that worked out great, but keyboard turning, most of the time is bad. It has its place, but most of the time is bad. So you're supposed to be using your mouse. Well, I can't use my mouse if my hand's on my numpad. So it helped a little bit, but yeah, it didn't work. What I did, and I could never imagine playing this game again, clicking like that and doing it like I did. I just can't imagine doing it anymore. I went out and I finally broke down and I bought myself a Razer Naga, which was just phenomenal for me. And you'll notice, if you look at my toolbar down here on the bottom of the screen. Now, of course, I'm doing this post commentary. I'm not even watching the video that you're watching while I'm talking now. But on the lower right hand side, I have a action bar there, 3 across and 4 down. There's 12 buttons there, and those are the buttons I have. Those are all the commands I have, 1 through 12, all assigned to the 1 through 12 buttons on my mouse. And then on the top and bottom bar, I have set the top bar is set to the F keys, the bottom bar is set to the number keys on the top of the keyboard. And that's how I do it now, and that's how I keybind. Everything off to the side is just food buffs. And buff the party, before you start. And mount up, and shit like that I can click. Because I'm not in the heat of battle when I'm using all that shit. So I don't need it. I don't need it keybound. I don't need it at, right there. Oh my god, I got a mount. Oh shit, Hearth, motherfucker, Hearth. Drink water, faster! I don't need to hurry up and click for all that shit. So, it works out well for me. And what really, really, really helps me And even now, especially now being back in Warcraft here, when I set my how I had that one grid set up with 3 across to 4 down, and I have my commands in there. The reason why that is set up like that is because that is the same layout of as the buttons on the side of the Naga. The top buttons are the top bar at the bottom, and the bottom bar at the bottom. Well, that's the top and bottom bar of my number keys on my keyboard. The top are all the F keys, the bottom are all the regular numeric keys. And that's how I do it. So, just by looking at the screen, I know what button to push. I don't have to, run down and click, but if I forget, and all I gotta do is glance down real quick, oh, that one, oh, that one, oh, that one, oh, it's a 2, it's 3, okay, it's 1 in the middle, and that's it. So, that is what has trained me, being able to set up the key, the buttons on the screen to the buttons on the keyboard in the same position. So I can just look down, okay, it's that, and that is what got me. That is what taught me how to do it. And I imagine if I did have to go back and use keyboard, I could probably do it that way just by using Bartender and setting up all the commands on there just as they are on the keyboard. Okay, it's Q, so I would set it, for where I currently have F1. Just as an example. That's how I would do it, and it would probably work out really well, because that is the biggest thing that got me off of clicking, was so I could, because that was my biggest problem, is remembering what button does what. Setting it up like that was a godsend. I don't know if there's any programs out there that'll do it for you or not, but yeah, it helped out a ton. And with that, guys, I'm going to end this video. I still got a lot to learn. Like, I've heard there's an underworld auction house, or a black market auction house. I assume that's not like the one in Booty Bay and stuff like that. So I gotta figure out what that is. We're supposed to be able to farm now, like have an actual farm where we grow shit. So, yeah, I need to find out what that is all about, too. But otherwise, I think I'm headed in a good spot. So, I will end this here. Remember, comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think of the new show, and any ideas for, future episodes. Until next time, guys, remember, send your questions into the email address below at wowdargamechat@gmail.com. And until next time, guys, I will see you in game. On the top and bottom bar, I have set the top bar set to the F keys. The bottom bar is set to the number keys on the top of the keyboard. And that's how I do it now, and that's how I keybind. Everything off to the side is just food buffs. And buff the party, before you start. And mount up and shit like that I can click. Because I'm not in the heat of battle when I'm using all that shit. So I don't need it. I don't need it keybound. I don't need it at, right there. Oh my god, I got a mount. Oh shit, Hearth, motherfucker, Hearth. Drink water, faster. I don't need to hurry up and click for all that shit. So it works out well for me. And what really, really, really helps me, and even now, especially now being back in Warcraft here, when I set my how I had that one grid set up with 3 across to 4 down, and I have my commands in there. The reason why that is set up like that is because that is the same layout of as the buttons on the side of the Naga. The top buttons are the top bar at the bottom, and the bottom bar at the bottom. Well, that's the top and bottom bar of my number keys on my keyboard. The top are all the F keys, the bottom are all the regular numeric keys. And that's how I do it. So, just by looking at the screen, I know what button to push. I don't have to, run down and click, but if I forget, and all I gotta do is glance down real quick, oh, that one, oh, that one, oh, that one, oh, it's a 2, it's 3, okay, it's 1 in the middle, and that's it. So, that is what has trained me, being able to set up the key, the buttons on the screen to the buttons on the keyboard in the same position. So I can just look down, okay, it's that, and that is what got me. That is what taught me how to do it. And I imagine if I did have to go back and use keyboard, I could probably do it that way just by using Bartender and setting up all the commands on there just as they are on the keyboard. Okay, it's Q, so I would set it, for where I currently have F1, just as an example. That's how I would do it, and it would probably work out really well, because that is the biggest thing that got me off of clicking, was so I could, because that was my biggest problem, is remembering what button does what. Setting it up like that was a godsend. I don't know if there's any programs out there that'll do it for you or not, but yeah, it helped out a ton. And with that, guys, I'm going to end this video. I still got a lot to learn. Like, I've heard there's an underworld auction house, or a black market auction house. I assume that's not like the one in Booty Bay and stuff like that. So I gotta figure out what that is. We're supposed to be able to farm now, like have an actual farm where we grow shit. So yeah, I need to find out what that is all about too. But otherwise, I think I'm headed in a good spot. So I will end this here. Remember, comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think of the new show, and any ideas for future episodes. Until next time, guys, remember, send your questions into the email address below at wowdargamechat@gmail.com. And until next time, guys, I will see you in game. I'll end this here. Remember, comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think of the new show, and any ideas for future episodes. Until next time, guys, remember, send your questions into the email address below at wowdargamechat@gmail.com. And until next time, guys, I will see you in game. See you in game.